Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I have seriously been trying to film this video all day. It's like 4:15 in the afternoon now. I started trying to film this at 10 o'clock, and with having babies home with me, like, I've seriously had to stop so many times. I was filming it this morning in the office, then Lainey needed something, and then they were hungry, and then yada yada, and I'm like, okay, well, let's go outside and eat lunch and I'll film it then. And then it was just one thing after another. When I tried to film in the car while I was at pickup, and Barrett was like unbuckling and climbing over seats and just... So right now the boys are playing in the garage door is shut, and they're just kind of like, it's not hot, so don't worry about that, but they're just playing basketball out there. Lainey is trying to get ready to take a nap, which I know it's stupid late for a nap, but girl, if you need it, take it. And then my oldest is upstairs in the movie room just hanging out watching movies for a little bit, and I have probably about 30 minutes before my husband gets home, and then that's the day's gone. Oh, and my puppy's gonna start needing me, huh? Are you gonna start needing me next? Yes, are you gonna start needing me next? Okay, let's just get started. So the first question is co-sleeping. Are you for or against co-sleeping? I co-slept with every single one of my kids. I don't think it was ever meant to be intentional. I had a really rough time when I had my oldest. Like, I got really like deathly sick and almost died. They actually told my mom to plan my funeral. So when I finally got home from the hospital, I was just like, everything that could have gone wrong with me, minus actually dying, did go wrong with me. So I was just paranoid. I thought, oh my gosh, if I don't, every little noise he made, or like everything, I was petrified. I was so scared something was wrong. And this was, I mean, this was 9 years ago, so this is way before like the Owlet or something like that. Like, of course there was like baby monitors and things like that, but it wasn't satisfying enough to me to have that. Like, I just started co-sleeping, and then with my next one, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna co-sleep with him, and I did, and then I did, and I did, and I did. And my 2-year-old is still in bed with us now. She's starting to slowly transition to her own bed, but I'm like not really in any rush, because I've never minded co-sleeping. It used to get on my husband's nerves, but I don't think he really, I think he's indifferent about it. Like, he would like to have his own bed like between us, but it's not like the end of the world. So co-sleeping is a yes. Vaccinations. I vaccinate my kids. All of them have been vaccinated. Lainey had delayed vaccinations because she has congenital scoliosis, and she also had, I'm gonna do laundry, I'm sorry. I gotta fold laundry while I'm doing this because I have not been able to do anything else all day. Anyways, she had clasped thumb. Well, around the time that she was getting ready to have her clasped thumb surgery was also around the time that she was due for her next vaccinations. Like, she got all of them right when she was a baby right away, and then like her 1 year in vaccinations and stuff, that was delayed. And I kind of wish I would have delayed all of them, because, and I delayed it, let me tell you why I delayed it because before her big surgery, which vaccinations, you can move them around however you want, you can do them later, earlier, whatever. Surgery, like, that's a set date, like, we try not to change that no matter what. So I didn't want her to have her vaccinations and then get sick, which all of my kids always end up getting sick right after they have they're vaccinated. So I didn't want any of that to happen. Now that I see like this huge widespread, like, because before it was never really a question, and now all of a sudden you're seeing all this pop up, it almost makes me question, like, why did they feel this way? And it makes me want to look into it. Like, I know it's such a taboo thing to say, but I'm like, why do they feel this way? I kind of really want to look into it and see if there's like a real like scientific proof behind their reasoning, because it's not just going to start with one parent who just decided, like, I don't like vaccinations, and now all of a sudden polio is going to run rampant. Like, there's something behind it, and I kind of want to see why. And I don't want anybody to call me names or anything else. My kids are vaccinated, but I'm just curious as to why they feel this way. It doesn't mean I'm for or against it. It just means, like, I'm just questioning things, you know. The next thing on the list is spankings. Yes, I am pro spankings, and let me clarify. I am for spankings. I'm not for abuse. I'm not okay. Abuse in any way, shape, or form is terrible, and anybody that does it is disgusting as well. Spankings are different than abuse. Dutch, don't start. I was trying to talk as fast as I possibly could, and it's just not fast enough. Somebody left some food on the table, and now he's barking for it. Hold on a second. Okay, let's try this again. Spankings. So, abuse is disgusting. That's not what I'm talking about. Spankings, on the other hand, I'm okay with. And let me tell you when I'm okay with them. Let me give you a really good example of what's happening right now and why spanking our 2-year-old is a thing. She is on this kick of, we just moved. We've only been in this house for, we moved here in January, and it just turned April, I think it's the 10th. So we've been here for a few months, but the weather has just started getting warm, so we're just starting to get outside more. Well, we live on the corner, and there's a street right that runs parallel to our house. And our daughter keeps trying to dart out towards the street. Well, telling a 2-year-old, hey, no, don't do that, is like saying, it's more of a suggestion, because they don't know why. They're just like, let me just test my limits. So when she starts running towards that direction, and I yell her name and I tell her to stop, if she does not stop, I catch her and I spank her. Because spanking her is letting her know, absolutely not. You have reached me to my level. I'm very upset now. You cannot do that. Because what's the outcome? She's going to get hit by a car if she keeps running out to the street, correct? So spanking versus getting hit by a car. So, I mean, if you have another way to go about this, maybe you do shock collars. I don't know. That's a joke. I hope nobody does shock collars. But I'm just saying, it kind of seems like common sense. I mean, I know there's people literally asking their child nowadays if it's okay if they change their diaper and they're infants. So, it's a different world we're living in, folks. A different world. But that's how I do it. I spank my daughter if she's doing anything that could possibly cause her harm. A little spanking's gonna hurt a lot less than getting electrocuted, getting hit by a car, getting burnt, getting just injured in some type of way. So yes, I'm for spankings. Discipline, obviously I don't, okay, so back to the spankings, between the ages of 2 to about 5.5, maybe 6, when they're still getting testy and they're still trying to figure out their boundaries with you and how far you're gonna let them push you, I think spankings are okay. I couldn't go up to my 9-year-old now and say, okay, it's time for a spanking, because that's just I mean, for one, he's as tall as me, but he also knows now, because I was strict with them in the beginning, yes, baby, that, don't mess with mom when she's being serious, because I like to joke and I like to have so much fun with my kids. That's just how we've always been, but I'm their parent, I'm not their friend. I'm their parent first, and a parent to me is way more of a forever term than a friend. Friends come and go. So I'm not going to be your friend, I'm going to be your parent. I'm going to have fun with you, I'm going to laugh with you, I'm going to cry with you, I'm going to hold you, and I'm going to always be here for you, but I'm also going to tell you what's okay and what's not, and you're going to listen to me, period. So I'm a little bit more, we have fun, but I do get strict with a lot of things. As far as discipline goes, like I said, I'm not going to spank my older kids, but if they're not listening, or if I say, hey, clean your room repeatedly and no one ever touches their room, which you guys have seen my cleaning videos, they don't ever, Cruz is awesome about cleaning his room. The rest of them are just what does that mean? So, stop, Dutch. So anyways, so if they don't clean their room, they'll get several warnings, and if they don't do it, then I go in with a trash bag. Sometimes I throw their stuff away, sometimes I take it away for a really long time, and sometimes they're just, I mean, yeah, it'll just be gone for good. So it just depends on them, and just depends on how, or for instance, if they brought home really bad reports from school with their grades or whatever, no TV, no electronics, no anything, no playing with friends outside, you're done. And then when I see improvement, then you can slowly get all your stuff back. You're not going to get it back right away. You got to earn it back. So that's how we do discipline. Homeschool. Oh, God. Oh, Dutch, you almost knocked my cup over. Homeschool. I wish I could homeschool. I don't know, like this has been a huge topic in our house a lot, like a lot. I don't know that I'd have the patience for homeschool. Like it's so, my husband and I wish I could do it. I think my husband's a little bit more indifferent than I am. I really, really, really want to do it. And I practice throughout the summer with him. Like I practice, like we do homeschool activities throughout the summer. But like when push comes to shove, I don't know that I could do it and be on top of it all the time. Like I feel like I would slack, or I feel like I would just, I wouldn't have enough patience and I'd get frustrated. So I'm pro homeschool. If people want to homeschool their kids, I think it's great, but I don't know that I could homeschool mine. Okay, no, not eat your ice cream out in the garage. All right, I'm gonna try to hurry up and get this done because now my husband's gonna get home, and once he's home, then I'm throwing in the towel. Like it's a long day of trying to do this. Anyways, so the next question was tantrums in public. I don't really know like what this question really is. Like, is it how we handle tantrums in public, or do our kids have tantrums? Pretty sure everybody's kids have tantrums in public. How I handle my kids when they have tantrums in public, I just don't like I basically try to ignore it, but whatever they're throwing a fit over, I'm not going to get it for them. Like you can't throw a fit and expect to get a reward from it. So if everybody else in the store has a problem with the way that my kids are screaming, then go to it every now. I don't know what to tell you. If you've never had kids before, and if you haven't, well, this is what it's like. So here you go. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to answer that one. So the next one is sleepovers. So sleepovers with friends, I don't think my kids are ever going to have sleepovers with friends. I'm not okay with that. Reason being is because it's such a crazy world that we're living in, and I just don't even want to go there. I don't even want to think about all of the horrific possibilities. But on top of that, I remember being I was probably 11 or 12 years old, and I went to a friend's house, and I didn't even stay the night at this friend's house. I went to a friend's house, and her dad, while I was there, I was in the basement. She was getting in trouble for not doing something, and I remember he started screaming and like hitting her, and he eventually pushed her down the steps. And I remember seeing, like I was in the basement, I remember her falling down the steps, and she was just crying. Meanwhile, I'm stuck there. I'm only in 5th grade, so 12 years oldish, 11, 12 years oldish. I'm stuck there, just what do I do? Like, it was such a terrible situation to be stuck in. Like, I felt helpless. I couldn't help her because I was scared. I was like frozen. But it didn't stop that, like, I didn't even want to go home and tell my mom because I was afraid that my mom would never let me see her or go back to her house again. Not that I wanted to go back, but that's just how like a young kid thinks. So I didn't even want to tell my mom about it. So I can't even imagine, how if there were something worse that happened, you know what I'm saying, during a sleepover or whatever. And that was just an example of one time something happened weird or uncomfortable while I was at a friend's house. So, Dutch, no. So I'm not for the sleepover thing, and like Tony and I, Dutch, stop! Tony and I, long ago when Gleason was a baby, we always had this dream of like, I cannot wait until our kids are older. We're just gonna have to have the coolest house out of all the parents, always have snacks and food in there, and always have like the kids wanting to come to our house. That way we know that our kids are safe, and the other kids obviously as well are safe, because like I watch my kids. Like I can't believe how many people just like, I'm new to this neighborhood. We've only been outside for a couple weeks now. I can't believe how many people just, without ever meeting me, just allow their kids to come to our house. But that's my point I'm getting at, is people just, the kids flock to our house, which is awesome. I think it's because we have so many, so it's like, oh, let's go where there's, it's more convenient to go to their house because everyone's already there, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know that I could just let my kids run to everybody else's house. like they went to a friend's house and played in their backyard once, and I could see them from my house, and I still just was like watching like a hawk the whole time, and I never even saw the other parent. So, and they had a rule, they were not allowed to be inside. They could only be outside where I could see them. And then it started to rain while they were out, so they came straight back. Plus, I don't think my kids would like going to sleepovers because they're so, like Glayson, for instance, he is such a germaphobe. Like, he's very, like, grossed out by things. Even in our own house, like, if he pulls a spoon out of the dishwasher, he'll rewash it before he uses it. Or he doesn't like a lot of other people's food. Like, it would gross him out to walk in someone else's house without his shoes on. Like, it's just how he is. As far as them staying the night at families' houses, they're allowed to stay at their grandparents' house. They don't have very many sleepovers. I'd probably say, how many sleepovers do you guys think that you have a year at Gma and Pawpaw's cruise? Like maybe 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, they only go over there and stay the night maybe 3 times a year. I mean, at max. And that's just because, I don't know, I just prefer them to stay home. Like, they can go over and hang out anytime they want, but at night I just prefer them to be home for so many reasons. Like, I don't know. I just like them home. And what else? I've never let them go over to sleep over at even their grandparents' house until they were at least 2. Because at 2, then they can at least tell me, like, if they're sick and grandma's calling and saying, hey, something's wrong with them, but I can't figure out what. They can at least call me and tell me, like, hey, Mama, I don't feel good, or something. They can tell me, you know what I'm saying? It's not just like leaving the grandparents to try to play this guessing game, which obviously they've had tons of experience over their, you know, the course of their life. But it just feels, you know, I just wanted them to be able to call me and tell me if they needed something, period. So, no sleepovers for any of them until they were 2. What was the next one? Abortion. Here's how I feel about abortion. Hold on. Hey, Dutch, no. Okay, so abortion. I'm against abortion. And my reasoning behind it, I know that everyone says, oh, it should be whoever's choice. Like, I don't feel that way. You had a choice to not do it. You had a choice to wear a condom, and then you had a choice to have the morning after pill, and you missed all 3 of those chances. So abortion, it's just murder in my eyes. I know I'm gonna get so much hate for that. I don't care. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Whether you want it or not, it's already there. And I don't even like calling it it. Like, that's a human, that's a life that's already there. So if you didn't want that responsibility, you had 3 other chances to be responsible. So that's how I feel about it. So moving right along to the next one, since that one's such a hot topic. The next one is breastfeeding. I am totally for breastfeeding. However, and I don't care what anybody says, however, whenever I had Glayson, I couldn't breastfeed him because of all the medicine I was on whenever I almost lost my life. And it tore me up. I wish I could have done it so bad. Like, I tried doing the pump and dump for, it was like 8 weeks, and there was no end to my, like, medication to where I knew that it was going to be safe. So it was devastating. So the next time I had a baby, my card ran out of space. But I was saying, the next child I had, I tried desperately to breastfeed. I was reading all the books, I was going to the doctor, I was doing everything I could. I was on fenugreek, I was on everything I could possibly be on. I was drinking so much water, and I struggled so bad. And then I ended up supplementing. I breastfed for the next 3 kids. I breastfed until they were at least a year old, but I'd also have to supplement with formula. And I tried desperately with every single one of them to just to be able to produce enough to take care of them, to completely nourish them, and I couldn't do it. Anyways, I tried desperately, and I could not, I just couldn't produce enough. I had so many people tell me like, oh, well, you're just not doing it right. I'm like, there's only one way to do it. Like, it's just not coming in. So I felt I had enough mom guilt of my own about that. So I can't even, like, if you try, I would, obviously I suggest trying first, but if you can't, you can't, and it's such an emotional toll that it can possibly take on you. Yeah, I mean, I was still able to supplement. Like, I would still nurse first for each of my kids. I would nurse as much as possible, and I'd even do cluster feedings just to try to get them to get as much as possible from me. And then if they still weren't satisfied, then we would do formula. But yeah, if you just can't produce, which I know I was there, and despite what everyone says, like, oh, you just didn't try hard enough, or, you know, whatever their case was not my case. I was so adamant about it for 12 whole months. Some of them, I think Cruz and Barrett, I definitely went to a year and a half. Lainey, she started walking and didn't want anything to do with nursing the day she turned, or the week she turned 1. Like, that was just it for her. She was done. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here and now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys give this video a thumbs up. If you like this content, please subscribe to my channel. And if you didn't agree with me, it's okay. We're living in this world where no one can have a difference of opinion anymore, and it's really sad. So if you feel differently about any of these topics than I do, then that's fine. That's your right to be able to feel that way. I feel a totally different way maybe, and that's okay. So just keep that in mind, and thank you guys so much for watching. I love y'all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.